This is Spotlight TV, and I am Christian Lestat. You Sarah. For the people at home, who are we here with tonight?
Scott McClelland from the RoadHouse Theater.
Now, what's going on here tonight?
We have the show "Wake Up and Smell the Coffee" by Erie Pa. It's a pretty rough cut kind of show, real edgy stuff, you know, like the RoadHouse used to do all the time. So, you know, if you don't like, you know, a lot of sex, a lot of bad language, a lot of anti-religion stuff, you probably want to stay away from it.
Who's all acting in it?
My wife's in it, Kim. Mike Lechner's in it. Bud Pacey, Aaron Pacey, myself, Jeff Rodland, a couple of newcomers, J.D. Alba, Steve Kinross. So it's a good cast.
Now, this is a plan to try to keep the RoadHouse open, right?
Yeah, we're going to be working on that. We're going to be doing a thing where we're doing the mighty 1,000, looking for 1,000 people to give us $300. Each person give us $300. If we can do that, we can wipe out all our debts and keep this building alive.
Now, if anyone's watching out there and has $1,000, like which there probably
$300,
is,
just $300.
$300 though. Now, where do they give this $300 to? They
can contact us at the RoadHouse Theater phone number, which is 459-8215, or they can email us at pipedown3@msn.com.
So just $300.
$300. If we get 1,000 people in this whole region, and find just 1,000 people who can do that. I mean, you know, we're not saying you can't give more than 300, but if we can get 1,000 people to give 300, there'll be no more problems. We'll keep this building alive for years. Well,
for round number, like how much is the RoadHouse Theater in debt?
RoadHouse Theater's in debt about $250,000, so we need about $300,000 to put us out of debt and give us a little cushion to move forward to the future.
Well, there was some people, I'm not going to bring up too much, but there was some negative attention. Just to ask the question, how much is it to run a theater like the RoadHouse?
It takes around $5,000, between $3,000 and $5,000 a week, depending on, you know, what you're doing. In the winter, it's more expensive, obviously, with gas and electricity than it is in the summer. But in the summer, you have the air conditioning, so it somehow evens out in some way or another. But it can be very expensive. And the other part of the plan that we're going to do is we're going to be sharing more of the bills, probably with the Great Lakes Film Festival, and we're also going to be maybe bringing another theater in here, and maybe some other groups that are going to be performing in here, so that we're not leaving all the weight of keeping the building alive on the shoulders of the RoadHouse. Maybe some other groups can help us sort of cushion us a little bit.
Well, how many seats is there in the RoadHouse?
250.
All right, like I've said online, like when you have just one show that sells out per month, that's not nearly enough money to support those monthly bills. Is that correct?
Absolutely not. A sold-out show, you know, average of $10 is $10 a ticket. If you sold every seat, $250, which is very rare. You'd have $2,500, and then if you did 2 shows, Friday and Saturday night, you know, you'd have $5,000. Now that would conceivably cover the bills, but that never happens. I mean, you know, there's no possible way that you're going to have a show every single weekend that's going to sell 500 seats. It's just not going to happen.
But now we're talking about like. Well, when I said show, I mean like actually single performance, not like the whole run of the show. Like if you have just like one show, and the rest are like 75% sold out. That one show that night did not sell out. You know, so, you know, pay the monthly bills.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no way.
And even in the winter, like the gas bill, does it cost more to run the heat during a show in the winter?
Yeah, well, when you have to turn it on, you know, you have to turn the heat on so it's warm in the coffee house, warm downstairs for the actors, warm in the auditorium for the people. It costs about $5,000 a week, between $3,000 and $5,000 depending on the week, and that averages between $15,000 and $20,000 a month. It's a lot of money.
Well, there was an argument online, and thank you for just proving me right, because I was telling other people you can't just run a show, run a theater and pay those bills just for one night. You know, especially when there's only 250 seats.
There's a lot of stuff that goes into running a theater, and it's very hard to choose the shows and know what people are going to want to see. You know, some of those people that you're talking about, you know, they do one show that's a very popular show that people all want to come and see. That's great. That's easy to do those shows. But when you do another show that people don't want to come and see, well, how do you pay the bills? You know, those same people directed a show that no one came to see. And what are they going to do then?
Well, it's getting harder and harder, because it seems like the people that they seem to respond to like 25-cent night at like the local bar, and it seems like people want to pay less and less for entertainment. I mean, do you think that hurt the RoadHouse a little bit?
I think the biggest thing that hurt the RoadHouse was that we lost a lot of support from the corporate community. And I've said online also that I understand that, because if I was a business person and I now had a budget that was much tighter than it was before for what I could spend on, I would probably want to spend my money on The Sound of Music or on, you know, the Nutcracker, rather than like you know, like this show that has lots of dirty words in it. You know, I mean, I completely understand why they wouldn't want to put money behind a show like this. I probably wouldn't either.
All right, now do you have any closing statements? Something you would like to say to the general public before you sign off?
Just that we want to keep this building up and going. We want to have a lot of stuff happening in this building. This is a great asset to the community, especially for younger people. And I don't want to lose it. And if you have any ideas about how money can be raised in any way to help keep us alive, the bank has got about 3 to 4 months away from foreclosing on this building. So if you got ideas, if you know people who know people, whatever it is, contact me, contact my wife, and we will make sure that your help helps us make it happen.
Well, thank you very much.
So, kick it live with the CLB. Hey yo, that be the DJ rolling with me.